Okay, so I've been fooling around with this nozzle here, and I've reversed its configuration to where the oil was coming through the air spear and the air was coming through the oil siphon, just to see if it would work. And it does vary slightly, but I don't think my tip is configured well for that. Now, we've already seen how this thing behaves as it is, so I don't know if I want to even bother doing any more testing like that. So what I'm thinking about doing is drilling the hole out just a little bit bigger so that this inner spear will protrude out past the hole just slightly to see if we can get a better siphon action out of this thing. Because what I'm starting to understand about the nozzle process is that the best way to do this is to put the oil through the spear and not the air. Right now I'm running air through my spears and oil is being siphoned through this area. I need to try that the other way around, because I think what happens is that the air blast rips the oil stream apart, and that's where your atomization takes place. It slowly strips away those atoms of oil by the collision of high-speed air molecules, and I think that's the way to go. So this is what we're going to try to do. And in addition to that, I have this other nozzle here, which I've also been running in the wrong direction, I think. I think I need to switch it around and try it that way and see how it works with air being sprayed through the outer shroud versus oil, because right now it's the same thing. The oil comes up through here and passes through that outer shroud. I think I'm going to give these things a try in reverse, because some of the research I've been doing is indicating that I'm bass backwards here. This thing does put out a nice spray, but the thing is, I'm burning high-grade racing oil. This is some fully synthetic oil, so it doesn't burn like regular oil does or cooking oil. So my nozzles have to be a little bit more precise. Now, usually when I'm burning this kind of oil, because it's so hard to burn, I'll often do a slight fuel blend and put just a little bit of gas in there, like 10% gas at most. Just enough to where I can get a little tray of it to light and to give me a nice little lazy flame. But I don't want to do that. I want this nozzle to work on just waste oil, and so far it puts off too much air. So I think our next move is, what we need to do is just go ahead and drill a hole through that a little bit bigger so that the siphon spear can be protruded through that end. Okay, so just because the nozzle won't self-siphon doesn't mean that it won't atomize very well with this new configuration we're doing. So I'm going to turn the oil on. Now I wanted to show you the oil flow we're going to start off with. Let's see what we can do with that right there. Okay, you can see that that's a fairly decent little drip of oil there. Let's add some air to that. I'll get my torch ready in case I decide to light it up. Hope the lighting's good enough to see this. Certainly got a horrible background going there. Oh yeah, that atomizes that beautifully. I'm gonna set the camera up. Okay, now this is straight synthetic motor oil. Very hard stuff to burn on its own. I believe the regulator on my airflow is at about 50 psi's. I don't know what the cubic foot per minute is, but this thing is atomizing amazing now that I have it set up differently. Let's see what happens. Okay, that's showing me it's not enough oil for that much air. Add a little more oil here. Let's see what that does.